Oh, I gotta tighten stuff on the mic, not body. There's a lot of things I need to tighten on my body, but that's not going to happen. Set my sphincter.
Welcome to Uncle Weepy's Depression Dungeon, the least helpful self-help podcast. Here are your hosts, Paul Armstrong and Jeremy Fuchsen.
I kept going down my spiral of music last night.
Yeah.
Do you remember School of Fish?
Yes.
3 Strange Days.
Uh-huh.
Then that took me to Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Oh, Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Yeah. Sort of like, it was kind of a fun little, like, oh yeah, this is how I got into the music that I got into, like weird little, like I had a prog rock thing, which was basically my sister, because she was into Yes and Genesis and Zeppelin. So I'm like a prog rock to hard rock, which led me to King's X and hair metal, and which then led to Nine Inch Nails, and then like I did a hard right turn towards new wave, because she was kind of into some new wave stuff like Depeche Mode, but I didn't remember Depeche Mode from when I was a kid in the 80s, because people are people.
2 very different Depeche Modes.
It is very different Depeche Modes, yes. People are people, so why can't it be? I didn't like the Smiths until after I listened to Morrissey, which I didn't. A roommate of mine introduced me to Morrissey, and then I went down a whole different path.
Oh, so you did not know that the two were related?
No, my roommate, like my freshman or sophomore year, it was when Your Arsenal was out. He played that. I'm like, this is really good. I like this. He's like, oh, you've never heard of Morrissey? I'm like, no. And he knew Morrissey because he was from Indiana, and Morrissey filmed a video there. I think Every Day is Like Sunday was filmed in Indiana because of the James Dean Museum was out where he used to live.
Okay.
My friend used to live right next to the James Dean Museum and heard that Morrissey was coming, and it was a big deal, and everything got shut down because Morrissey was obsessed with James Dean. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I went down the spiral of Morrissey and the Smiths, and it's fun music with yodeling. Oh, music. It's the only thing that keeps me going. And Trello boards.
Yeah, music and Trello boards, man. I tell you what, that's a keep you busy on an election night.
Here's a fun little trick related to what I transferred my Trello board. I had it on the work one because that was the only account I had. So I'm like, I don't want it to go through work. So I moved it, and I wanted to add star ratings to all my titles so I could see them.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't figure out how to do it, like other than like looking for a star symbol somewhere and some text somewhere. I'm like, there's got to be a quick way to do this, and there is. Lovely little shortcut where you hit Control Command Spacebar in any text area, and it'll bring up a nice little dialogue with emojis and all of these other extra symbols and stuff.
Look at that!
It is the best little tool I've ever found. Like, holy shit! It's like getting Slack anywhere.
Man.
And it's free. Like, there's other apps out there. It's great. It's life-changing.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had no idea that was there. And I'm like, what the shit? How did it take me so long to know this? So this is a free one. I think if anyone hears this, it is life-changing.
Yeah.
Because
that will
you can
change
put
your life.
It's not just emojis, it's all the other kind of special characters and
characters.
symbols.
Oh man.
It's great.
Oh man.
Yeah, life changer.
Yes.
We could just end the podcast right now.
Done.
That's the only helpful thing I'll ever be able to tell anybody ever. I don't know how to outrun a shark. I don't know how to build a tank, but I do know how to give you shortcuts to stupid symbols. Although I do think we'll all need to outrun sharks and build tanks real soon.
Right.
If not,
yeah, quite possibly.
if not,
So
yeah.
So my question to you is, last night as you felt the world was on fire, do you still feel the world's on fire?
I don't feel great. I mean,
well, I don't think anybody
Trump
should
getting
feel
rid
great.
of Sessions. Trump getting rid of Sessions immediately is disconcerting.
Sure.
I mean, it's helpful that we won the House. I'm disappointed that Beto didn't win. Didn't expect him to. There was no reason for him to. He did better than should be expected in Texas.
Yeah.
Atlanta's turning out to be quite a big mess, as is Florida. In terms of they haven't called it. They're still doing ballot. I think those are both governorships. I don't know. I'm happy at least Democrats took control of at least one, House.
Yeah.
It took one, arm of Congress. That's helpful. I'm still mostly worried. I think the biggest problem I've had over the last 2 years isn't any of the I do have problems with the stupid things Trump will say and what he's trying to do. It's the judges. It's insane because they're going to be able to mandate what they want, which is let's overturn this, take it to court. They say, cool, we're going for the super conservative court is nothing that we can change. We can't vote them out.
Yeah.
And the Senate is the one that appoints and approves all that, not the House. So they're just going to keep going along with that. And in the next 2 years, better hope that no one on the Supreme Court dies or leaves. So that's what really makes me nervous, which, there was never a chance we were going to win the Senate, but I also don't know I guess it's state Senate and congressional districts that do the gerrymandering mapping, because I learned last night that our area in 2012 got added to the rest of Cincinnati. We're in Warren County, which is way out there.
Uh-huh.
But we have 50,000 residents who are very red. So the dude who was running knew he wasn't going to win because his county and area is all mostly the city. So he got rid of a middle part of the city and then took our area and won. He won last night. And the dude that he was running against did great in the city area, terrible in the suburbs because he had a foreign sounding name. It's just that kind of stuff. There's no way we can contend these kind of maps and all this stuff because it's just going to keep moving forward because the courts are going to be like, no, we're fine with it. That's what bothers me the most, I guess.
I hadn't really thought about it that way, but yeah, that is really problematic.
It's why the elections go the way they go. That's why minorities keep winning. The minority parties keep winning.
Yeah.
And insanely, drastically so. We're yesterday's turnout for the Democrats was far beyond their expectations in terms of even their highest expectations. It surpassed, and they still barely won and lost a lot of places. That's messed up. That's what's troubling. Because I really doubt that anyone on the other side would be happy if it were flipped. If Democrats were that's one of them. Another more annoying thing is the lack of the ability to see the other side of something is so annoying. I guess that's just human nature for the most part, lack of empathy. But, all of this really racist talk. I really doubt that you would be okay with a Democrat attacking Christians with such, when they already are. They already do have a problem. They already do say that they're being attacked. So I guess, whatever. It's hard not to just spiral out of the inane rhetoric that you're just how can you really be okay with it? It doesn't make any sense. It's party over people, and that's very apparent. I had read something that in the 50s, I don't remember if it were both parties, the leaders of both parties said that they had to become more partisan because they were too bipartisan, where people couldn't decide who to vote for because some Republicans were more liberal and some Democrats were more conservative. Southern Democrats were very conservative and vice versa, back in the 50s, and they told them to get more partisan. And they boy, howdy, did they do it. We are now at the apex of partisan. Though I think that's sort of a false equivalence. having joined the other side over the that's another thing I've been thinking about is every time I look back at memories on Facebook, it's over the last 10 years. So 10 years ago when Obama was first elected, I did not vote for him and I did not like him. I was conservative, Republican, Christian. And over the last 10 years, I have completely flipped that. And I've noticed that the side that I flipped to, it actually is not nearly as terrible as I had demonized them. Like, they're actually way more compassionate than the other side I was on. They're actually way more welcoming to people. They're actually way more reasonable about trying to work with someone.
Yeah. And
the false equivalence was, on the other side, you think that people are going to act like you and do what you do. So therefore, you think you demonize because you believe, well, that's what I'm doing to them. Why don't they do it back? But it's not true. It's not always true. You know, just because I'm a lying, cheating asshole doesn't mean that everyone else is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of like Republicans like, well, Democrats would do the same thing if they were in control. They would shut down all process for getting judges in, and they would do it. Like, no, actually, they wouldn't, and that's why they couldn't get any judges through, because they try to play by the rules. Like that kind of stuff. That happens all the time where it's like the false equivalence of like, well, we're just doing what the other side was doing. It's not true. It's not true anymore. There is one side that is angry and starting fights, and they're saying that the other side is doing it. And they're like, but you're wrong. Sorry, you can't just make that false equivalent. You just can't be like, meh.
Projecting. It's all it is.
I guess it's projecting. And,
it is projecting.
Or lack of empathy.
Yeah, well, it's that too.
And the more I'm sure you're realizing this too, the more you get into user research stuff, it's people are simple animals. Like, we react very instinctually. We're very tribe oriented. And the more we learn about how the brain works, there's more people who know how to manipulate it, and that's exactly what's happening. Trump may not be smart, but he definitely knows how to manipulate.
That's what he's best at.
He's really good at it. I mean,
he's
like,
really good at it.
It's horrifying, really. I mean,
it is, but I think that's honestly is going to be the thing that we study for decades to come. You know, none of the other stuff. I mean, whatever crazy, whatever becomes of this Russia investigation, all those things. I mean, obviously those will all be points on history and everything, but to me, I really do think that it will be the study of how masterfully he can manipulate people.
Yeah, mostly the media too.
Oh, yeah.
Which the media will cover them, which manipulates people's opinions, positive or negative.
Right.
And he knows how to do it perfectly. Well, why the hell would we be talking about a caravan right before an election? Because he knew that it would distract people from not talking about the tax problems and the Russian investigation. When was the last time we heard about the Russian investigation or Mueller?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
Because he kept talking about this caravan and making outlandish statements. He doesn't care because he's clearly seen and is now doubly clearly seen. He does not have to, there's no accountability for what he's saying. I mean, there might be now with the House. I think that's why he kind of freaked out today.
That's totally
you can't do this shit. I mean, the House is going to investigate you and they're going to ask for this paperwork that you've been able to hide.
Yep.
So I think he's freaking out a little bit, but still,
Yeah. Well, I was. I wish I had a source for it. I was reading some article about his pre-midterm campaigns, and I mean, basically he admits that he lies most of the time.
Yeah. I read that. He even said that. He's like, I tell the truth when I can.
He's like, I tell the truth
when I can.
Yeah, when I can.
Like, what does that mean?
I tell the truth when I can.
Yeah, which means I don't have to.
Yeah.
And he
sometimes
doesn't.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
When I can.
Yeah, when I can. Look, it's really hard to tell the truth.
It's hard to tell the truth.
I can't imagine it's any harder to tell a bunch of lies. Words have to come
together, and they have to.
I can't just be flying off the cuff if I tell the truth.
That's right. If I tell the truth, I have to stop and think.
I have to stop and think about, can I really demand a tax cut 2 weeks before everyone's out of session? Who cares? I'll just say that we'll do it. We'll just do it. We're going to have another tax cut. We are?
We're going live.
That's right. Jesus. That's going to be our new Department of Justice head. It's Bill O'Reilly. It's going to be all news, all Fox.
Jesus.
Sean Hannity is going to be our... It's going to take the place of Mattis. We're going to have Bill O'Reilly as Secretary of State. I don't know.
What is even happening?
He's a sneaky possum.
You know where he's heading? To his tree to make cookies.
Yeah. That's good because I miss those. The fudge stripes.
Oh man.
Haven't had them for a while. He needs to get back on
If you can't get Girl Scout cookies, the best thing is the grasshopper, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Keebler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been missing these cookies. Oh, yeah, fudge stripe. What's the ones that are the round with the hole in the middle and the chocolate stripes? Is that the fudge? No, that's not the fudge stripe. Is that the fudge stripe?
Yeah.
Don't they do just a fudge cookie, like a long chocolate
No, it's
covered?
like a white cookie with fudge stripes, like little wavies.
But they also do one that's like a long wafery kind of chocolate fudge thing too, right?
I feel like that's a Pepperidge Farms cookie. Like a Milano.
No, I don't think it's not Milano. No, I mean like it's all chocolate. It looks like a Kit Kat but bigger. Like a cross between a Twix and a Kit Kat kind of.
Shit, I don't know. What is this? What is this crazy
all right,
cookie magic that you're talking about?
I really want a cookie now. You got EL fudge. Maybe it's the EL fudge. It might be the EL fudge. Let's look at the EL fudge. No, that's a goddamn elf cookie.
No, that's not.
He literally looks like an elf.
ELF, elf fudge. Vienna fingers?
Oh, deluxe grams. Those. You remember those? You know those. Or fudge sticks. Go into Fudge Shoppy.
See, there's fudge stripes. That's the grasshoppers. Oh, coconut tree. Fudge sticks. Fudge sticks.
Fudge sticks. That's what I'm talking about. You've never had fudge sticks? Fudge sticks are fucking amazing. Oh, I want cookies real bad. I might go out late tonight and just go buy a bunch of cookies.
Yeah, we never have cookies around the house.
I'm going to keep them in my office desk drawer. I can't keep anything in our house. We have teenagers. Oh, jeez. We get there. So there's this amazing cinnamon strudel bread at Costco. Again, I'm addicted to Costco. I have a problem. It's amazingly good. So good. It's Kirkland brand. I bought it on Sunday and it's gone by Sunday night. And it's like 12 slices of bread. I can't buy anything for myself. I'm gone and I come back like, where did it fucking go? Like, I ate it all. Like,
yeah, I'm not exactly sure what in the world we're going to do on the food situation, because like the snack situation here with a 5 and 10-year-old and honestly the 5-year-old is the one that's the worst.
Oh, they have no self-control.
I mean, just constantly. I mean, and yeah, I mean, my wife will go buy, all sorts of snacks. And so, yeah. And you're right. You'll buy them on a Tuesday and they will be 60% gone by Wednesday.
Have you found the secret snack stash in your kids' rooms yet? Which is always by a bed.
But I totally did the secret snack stash when I was a kid. So I mean, I know that
it's
game.
coming. It's coming.
I know that game.
Yeah, our 9-year-old we found a taquito in the sofa, like in the sofa. Like, why is this in the sofa? He's like, I forgot about it. Like, you love taquitos. Why would you put it in a sofa cushion? I don't know. I was keeping it away from the dog. I'm like, I don't believe your words are invalid. I don't believe you.
No. Oh,
you dropped your plate and forgot. He has candy under his mattress or under his pillow.
Yeah, like I had a full package of Oreo double stuff under the bed. And yeah, I mean,
double stuff. Although Oreo is disappointing me with their insane, all the different flavors they're doing. I'm not sure I'm a fan of much of them. Do you like any of the new Oreo flavors? Have you like birthday cake or whatever it is?
Yeah, well, yeah, I like the birthday cake one. That was not bad. The mystery flavor was weird. I don't even remember what it was, but it was
wonder filled. I don't know what that means.
Right?
Is it? It's filled with wonder. Fuck you. That's not a flavor. Is it marshmallow? No, it's wonder. You know what's wonder? My dick. No. That's too far. Yeah, I'm trying to.
The
look at
last
some
time
of
I
the
was
flyers here.
at South by Southwest was when they had the Oreo printer. Do you remember seeing that?
No.
So
A
right
3D
there,
food printer?
it was basically a whole bunch of little 3D printers, and you would just go up and say, print me an Oreo, and it would drop one of the wafers down, and then it would print some pattern, like a random pattern, and
the icing stuff with
the
print,
icing
or the
stuff.
cookie. Okay.
And the icing stuff, but it would be different colors, but the different colors, of course, corresponded to different flavors.
Right.
And so I got up there and I printed it, and it made like this, bullseye shape type of thing of like stripes, concentric stripes, and then it dropped another cookie on top. And I'm pretty sure that mine was like watermelon and mint. Yeah, it was pretty gross. It was disgusting because it was pink and green.
Oh, watermelon and mint. Those are the worst combinations.
I know.
It's like milk and toothpaste.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Speaking of Halloween.
Yes.
Favorite candy you get on you steal from your children on Halloween?
Always Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Oh yeah.
Why is not everything Reese's based?
I don't know. Everything should be.
Because they have
Everything
so
else
many
is
great
garbage.
things.
Everything else is garbage. Like
PCs, cups,
yeah.
fast break. Have you had a fast break
Oh
yet?
yeah.
Oh god.
Like I'll do a Heath, on the rare, super rare instance where that ever actually shows up.
A Heath bar. That's the hard.
It's like the
taffy,
hard.
like,
yeah.
But if you go to the Reese's, if you go to the Reese's site, and I have done this because we had a Reese's tasting in our office, we got all of the samples we could get and did just a Reese's party. Oh, they have so many amazing things. Like there's so many things on their website that I've never seen. I'm like, well, this has to be a thing that I get right now. Just the minis are great. Like,
oh yeah,
just pop them in. Fast break is great. What's the one with the cookie? Is that the fast break? You have the crunchy.
I'm pretty sure it is.
The big cup, which has Reese's Pieces inside a Reese's cup, which, that's unbelievable. Yeah, the minis are great because you can just pop a cup in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
The sticks, that's it. The sticks are different than the fast break. The sticks are like a wafer, a peanut butter wafer with chocolate on the outside, sort of like the Little Debbie's, but Reese's, so it's amazingly good. The crunchy, the crispy crunchy.
Yeah.
The crispy crunchy. Nutrageous.
Yes.
You just forget how many amazing crunchers, the big cup.
Dark.
I have a cookie candy problem right now. I'm not even high, and I just want all of this.
You're having impulse control problems.
Yeah. What's the outrageous? That one's new. I don't know that.
I don't know either.
Savor peanut butter Reese's Pieces candy.
Chocolate
all together.
That seems like a problem. I don't know.
I'm sending this to you. I've never seen this before.
So speaking of impulse control, I saw some very interesting, and I mean it was anecdotal, so I can't back it up with any data or anything like that. But okay, stop, sidetrack. Honey roasted peanut butter cups, the flavor of Georgia. Oh man,
what?
Honey roasted
peanut butter cups?
Sounds
amazing.
I know, that sounds so good.
Is this on Reese's, or you just looked up?
No.
How did I miss that?
It's coming at you.
Oh, look at that. Oh, sweet sassy molassy.
I know. That. Yeah.
They're doing everything right.
They are doing everything.
Even their website is actually.
They are doing everything. Oh my god! But then and then I'm scrolling down, and there's a peanut butter ice cream sandwich. Look at that shit!
Look at that!
I know.
View recipe. Yes, please. Oh, there's one. Have you seen the cakes? It's
No.
like they get all the Reese's things and they like build this. This is a rabbit hole that I'll get a heart attack.
This is a
on.
sad rabbit hole. This is a sad rabbit hole. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, impulse control. So I read this. I was reading an article, and I don't know whether the article was trying to make a joke or if this is just anecdotal evidence or what, but it certainly seems to make a lot of sense to me, is that people with last names that are farther along in the alphabet have impulse control problems as they grow older. And the reasoning behind this is that as children, they are made to wait so long because they are last in the alphabetical line that they end up searching for gratification faster and things like that, and so they have impulse control problems.
Huh. I'll have to start observing that.
I would like to know more about this because this seems reasonable. To a certain degree.
Yeah. I remember some schools would go the exact opposite on purpose. Like, we're going to do it different.
Hans Zimmer, come to the lunch line.
Bob Zamuda, who played, what's his name with Andy Kaufman?
Yeah, Tony Clifton.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I need to research this a little bit more because
maybe they make less money too. No,
they do what?
They make less money. I don't know why.
I don't know,
because they have to wait to get paid. It's trickle down economics for them.
So that's what trickle down economics.
That's what it means. Yeah,
I never understood that before. Now I get it.
No, everyone talks about how it's the rich peeing on the poor. I'm like, that's not what trickle down means.
It's just you've got to wait until when the T's come up.
Just call it waterfall. It's the waterfall effect.
The golden shower.
Oh, we're a squad.
Let's get serious.
This is Hannah. She is a 32-year-old who is very interested in antique mid-century modern furniture.
Yeah,
she makes $173,000 a year as a fry cook at Chi-Chi's. It's just like, come on.
No, she doesn't.
What is this, House Hunters? Is this?
Yeah. She has a budget of $4.3 million.
What does she do for a living?
She sells industrial toilet paper.
That's right. He works in coal.
Yeah. I mean, it's always the most ridiculous things. It's like,
yeah.
He's a call center representative.
He hands out flyers at Bed Bath & Beyond. She makes raw milk.
They are looking for their dream home on the beach they've got about $2.3 million to spend. Let's see if they can find their dream home
in the Caribbean. He owns a vape shop. Sorry, he frequents a vape shop.
Oh man.
Do you know how many products there are that start with app? I can't even count them all now.
That start with app?
App Q, App P's, App, like all of them, like they're trying to be clever, like
buttered popcorn,
Appupuncture, Applitude, like they're all.
Yeah.
I get emails from
and what do these
all.
Things do? Are they app?
Everything, CRMs and ROI testing and user research, data analytic, WYSIWYG platform, bending AI, masterclass of Guitar Hero, and it's all just ridiculous. They do everything. And I get an email from them every week, and they're like, "We haven't heard from you." I'm like, "Yeah, and you're still emailing, yeah, and yet you email me every day. I haven't heard from you in 15,000 weeks. Are you still interested? I never was, and I've never responded to you." This is my 73rd email. Are you still maybe interested in us talking for 15 minutes about how Applitude, Applesauce, Appupuncture can help you with your app product appiness? We'll make it more appy than other apps could app you for app and sake. All praise app. God damn it. We had one that was called App Boy. That was a communication platform. App Boy. They changed their name to Braze. We have something that we like to use called Braze. To Braze. The
Brazen. And Jerry Lewis there for a moment. I'm Lady the Braze.
They're pretty good. They're decent. They're the Braze. They're a pretty nice little communication platform, actually. They'll do email, SMS, text messages.
I kind of like them better when they were App Boy. Who's a good little App Boy?
Who's a good App Boy?
You's a guy. Oh, you good App Boy.
Oh, who's such an App Boy? Are you going to grow up to be a good App Daddy?
Oh.
But all puns, too. Puns are really in.
Puns are very in. The dad joke has made a Renaissance comeback.
I see it all over billboards now. Like bigger healthcare companies, bakeries, whatever it is, like anything. They're all using just such pun stuff. I'm like, I thought we hated that. I thought everyone thought that was terrible. Apparently it's terrible good. Terrible good. I mean, billboards are just pop-up ads, but I did read something about how this one city banned all billboards in their city. And I can't remember what it was a study on. I think it was a study on traffic, like how it affected actual traffic.
Was this in South America?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say Brazil, but I don't think it's Brazil.
No, I do want to say Brazil, too.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. All I remember is being...
And I mean, this was 5 years ago or so.
Yeah, but I recently read it, but it happened a while ago. Like they took it off of buildings, they took it off of highways. Oh, it was a 99% invisible. That's why.
Oh, yes.
That's why I remember it. I don't know why I remember it now. Like a beautification, all sorts of stuff. Decluttering, beautification. I can't remember why I guess it was mainly just to declutter the city, but I think it gave the city personality again and all sorts of stuff. But I always wonder, like, how effective can billboards actually be? How can you track it?
It's so, yeah. I mean, other than trackable URLs or phone numbers, all the best you can even do is really super soft metrics
but most people aren't going to be able to URL it because you would have to put in some kind of crazy code. They're just going to type it into a Google or type that .com in.
Mm-hmm.
That's untrackable.
Yeah,
that's direct. That's not organic. It just feels like it's a complete and total waste.
I mean, the best you can do, and and I've got people that I could ask for more specifics on this. But yeah, my guess is it's you build impressions based on traffic patterns in that area.
I'm sure there's reasoning. Yeah, it's like radio ads. Like radio ads are expensive, but they're super effective. Or TV commercials, which I get it. But the price per user acquisition stuff. What's the term for that? I can't remember. I just can't remember it's good. I can't imagine it's any good at all because you have seconds, unless you're stuck in traffic, to grab someone's attention, to hope that they remember what it is that you should be. Like, most of them are all now healthcare related. At least the ones that I see. It's this hospital, this place, this center, this thing, because, everyone's dying, but most of them don't have any sort of, like if it's Kroger or whatever, it's just like, Kroger, get the best fresh produce. Like, cool, great. Okay. There's only 2 other options in town for a grocery store anyway, Whole Foods, Kroger, and maybe Aldi's. Good bet, I'll probably go to Kroger or one of the other ones. Thanks, cool. Must have been really worth it. For a huge name brand like you. I just don't get it. I mean, we did with Tour Monster, we did a short-term run of a commercial through DirecTV for regions, and it always boosted traffic and registrations immensely, but it never turned into any kind of long-term anything. Because people are like, oh, I'm just interested, boom, I'm out. And if I guess if you build a business model upon impressions or just, getting people to register for something, then I guess it works out. But we never found any kind of long-term other than publicity. Like, oh, look, you guys have a commercial. You must be for real. But
yeah, brand equity, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, but not with like Hulu, you could buy yourself out of commercials.
Right.
Or I'm sure other platforms are starting to do that too. And with ad blockers, and too bad there's not ad blockers for real life. You can just ad block billboards. I guess that's what AI would do, or AR.
Yeah.
Drive along.
It could do that. Yeah.
Just blanks them out.
AR windshields.
Why not?
Put pictures of cats up on billboards and stuff. Now, I will say, as far as billboards that have trackable URLs or something like that, there is one that I can think of that might even have half a chance of recall, and it's dicey at best. But there's a cave in Springfield, Missouri called Fantastic Caverns.
Oh,
and they have
tourism-based stuff.
They have billboards all the way up and down the highway between Kansas City and, between basically the Iowa, Missouri border all the way down to Springfield. And
it's like south of the border.
Oh, yeah. And so what they have done, their strategy is the most crazy balls strategy that I could ever even think of. But somehow I have half a mind that it could possibly work. And they have bought a shit ton of URLs that have absolutely nothing to do with...
So they coming up with short URLs that you remember, basically, as a tracking mechanism?
Yeah. So it's like, Fantastic Caverns, the world's only ride through cave. And then down at the bottom, the URL will be something like meatsweats.biz. And it's always like, and it's weird stuff. They'll have .biz, .mobi.
That's pretty brilliant, actually.
And and they will have nothing to do with the cave.
But you'll remember it.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, you'll remember it. It's like cheesepeanut.net. Well, I guess we'll go check that out later. Yeah. Sure. And it's the only thing that I've seen that I'm like, yeah, okay, that is just crazy balls, but I bet it probably works more than it doesn't.
Better than a URL shortener.
So yeah,
you know south of the border stuff, right?
South
or no?
What?
You probably don't.
No.
So all down 95. 95 is a highway. 95 is a highway that runs north to south along the coast, east coast.
Okay.
And right when you get around to Washington, D.C., so we used to always drive to Florida or North Carolina for vacation. And really starting at Washington, D.C., every 20 miles, you would see this billboard for south of the border, which was somewhere in South Carolina. And they were insane, ridiculous, huge billboards that just advertised go see Pedro at south of the border. And they did it on both sides of the highway. And I don't know how they spent the money on it, but it was just like, it's a hotel and some shops and restaurants. And
I bet you can get some sweet moccasins here, can't you?
Oh, yeah. And some terrible... But it was in the, this is early 80s, late 70s, before, Mexican culture took off too much. It's still around, surprisingly. I don't know how. But, they had billboards. I had never seen so many billboards, and it was just... Basically, they didn't say anything other than south of the border, south of the border, south of the border. Come see Pedro, and just like fireworks are here, or whatever it might be. Buy fireworks with Pedro. Eat some tacos with Pedro. Like,
yeah.
back then, I guess it could have been successful, but like now I'm wondering, I'm sure it's priced them out. It's expensive to get a billboard. I remember we looked. They're not cheap, and they ask for a long-term commitment.
Oh, I will guarantee you, for something like this, they bought those billboards a long time ago, and they are just
they probably did.
theirs.
Yeah, they probably bought them. You're right, or they owned a billboard company.
Yep.
But like anymore, it's so expensive. Like you have to sign a contract, you have to do it for a certain amount of time, and it's a lot. And they're not guaranteeing you anything. Like, we're just giving you the space, and it's going to be $15,000 a month, and you have to be for 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
We were just going to do random stuff, just pointless, random. Like you said, like doing random URLs would be brilliant, but something like that just sticks in your head, you can't get it out kind of stuff. We were talking about the other day about the idea of it exists, but the idea of people remembering something because they hate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like jingles, essentially, a lot of them exist because they're awful and you hate it, but you won't forget it. Like the idea of like negative brand association.
Yeah.
Is it a bad thing or a good thing? Like if you like doublemyspeed.com, doublemyspeed.com. You remember those? You ever hear those commercials? Like they just said doublemyspeed.com every second.
Doublemyspeed.com, doublemyspeed.com.
Yeah, they said it all the time, and I hated them. But guess what? You remember them.
You remembered it. Yep.
Just like in terms of like, what's the long-term strategy of negative marketing and on brand, longevity or impact or any of that? I can't imagine it's great, but maybe it works.
Like I can think of an insurance company in Oklahoma that I probably have not heard the commercial for at least 35 years. But, I can say accidents or tickets to call and they'll take care of you. 524-1541. Call Tall Paul with Paul Mead Insurance.
Or like, I didn't realize that Empire, the carpet company, was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
588-6300 or something like that.
Yeah.
Empire. Yeah, that was everywhere.
Yep.
Or, I forgot. I had one in my head and it totally left. Never mind. But like even like negative design, like design that's awful and makes you mad, but you remember or engage or something. I wonder if that's even possible. Because jingle is one thing.
There's something to it, yeah.
A jingle is one thing compared to, visuals.
Yeah, there's got to be a good example of it, though.
Do you know the old man dancing for
Six Flags?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone hated that guy, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone liked him.
Nope. That was a very visual thing that people remember. Yes. And I'm pretty sure it was a girl.
Yeah, dressed like an old man. I'm sure you're right. Yeah, you don't even need to type it. It auto-completes. Oh, he's called Mr. Six. God, I hate
Mr. Six.
Boy, did I hate that commercial.
Oh, man.
But I think everyone hated it.
Everyone hated it.
But you remember it still.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, is there something to the fact that you hate something, but you remember it and it has a brand recognition? There has to be.
There
I'm
has
sure
to be
there's studies
a
on
formal
this.
word for that, yes. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, somebody out there has to know. Somebody out there has to know. What, because there has to be a term for this.
I typed hate-based marketing. I'm like, no, that's not what I mean.
No, that's going to get you something totally
That's
different.
all going to be Trump companies.
Yeah.
What would it, negative based.
Like the only thing I want to say is like revulsion therapy, but that's not it.
It's like,
but it's like that.
Well, it's what's the term? Design has a term for ugly design.
Brutalism.
Yes, it's like brutalist marketing.
you have questions or topics for the show, call 816-535-1094 and leave a voicemail. Or reach us on Twitter at Uncle Weepy. If you enjoyed this show, first rate and review the show on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. Your review helps the podcast robot suggest this show to other listeners. Second, consider supporting the show on Patreon. Patrons of the show get access to exclusive after-show material. Several levels of support are available. Visit patreon.com/Uncle Weepy for details.
Hi folks, Tall Paul here. Looking for car insurance? Are you being left in the dark? Well, here's something to get all fired up about. Let me throw some light on your car, truck, and mobile home insurance needs. When it comes to protecting what you own, always remember.
Protecting all the things you own, like cars and trucks and mobile homes. With accidents or tickets too, call and we'll take care of you. 524-1541.
I've got monthly payments you can holler about too.
I'm Adam Beebe.
I'm Barry Johnston.
We're the hosts of a new podcast called What's Your Weird Story?
Our podcast is based around your stories, weird stories, strange stories,
true stories.
We're building a community of listeners and storytellers.
So if you got a weird story, maybe you saw a UFO, or maybe you had coffee with Bigfoot. There are lots of weird stories out there, and we want to hear them all. So catch us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all your listening platforms, all the places you can get a podcast, and follow us on Twitter at What's Your Weird. Follow us on Instagram at What's Your Weird Story. Join us on our Facebook page. If you got a weird story, we want to hear it.
New episodes are released every Tuesday.